Hey there, welcome to Amina's Path. A few years back, after some serious life checkups, I made a big decision. I needed to be kind to myself. I realized that happiness isn't some finish line you cross, it's something you build day by day, living in the moment and surrounding yourself with people who lift you up. Amina's Path is where I'm inviting you to join me on this journey, sharing my thought, my experiences, and the encounters that have changed me. If you are ready to move forward with kindness, come walk this path with me. Hey there, welcome for a new episode of Amina's Path. Today I'm going to talk to you about those knee-jerk reactions, or rather, how to do things differently. For that, I'm going to share 3 stories. The first one happened to me a few months ago, and it's quite interesting because it made me think of another story as well. So let's say we're going to have like 3.5 stories today. Let me explain. I was going to pick up my car in my parking place, in the parking garage. What you need to know about my parking spot is that it's in a corner in an underground garage, but it's not really a corner, it's half a corner, and the other part is to park like scooters and motorcycles. And usually I have place, more or less place to open my door and just squeeze myself into my car. But this day, I have to admit I was completely in a bad mood. I wasn't in the best mood ever. But when I came, honestly, it was too tight. It was not okay. It was no place for me to go in. So naturally, my first reaction was to get angry. I really had this, urge. I had already starting open my door to just slam it again, the motorcycle and scooter next to me. Okay, not a good idea, I know. And then I had a flash. I remembered a story a friend of mine told me. He had the exact same situation, except it was another car, parked super close to him, and he couldn't get in properly. He managed to squeeze in, but it was tough. He got really, really angry. I mean, I get it. I understand that. And ended up slamming his door hard into the other car. He felt better for a moment, like he did let out all his frustrations. The story could have ended there. But when he tried to sell his car like 1.5 years after that, he realized that he did actually dented his own door when he hit the other car. It wasn't noticeable at first, but when he looked closely to sell it, he found the damage and he had to pay for repairs. So, back to my own story, I thought, maybe I shouldn't do that. It's not a good idea at all. It's not really a question of equipment. It was really just, telling myself that it would be too expensive anyway, because it would have a boomerang effect on me, thinking about it now, being angry now, and every time I would see the dented car. So I remembered that I had a notebook and a pen in my bag. I took a piece of paper and wrote a note to the owner of the scooter saying, "Dear neighbor, please know that your motorcycle is blocking my door so I can go into my car properly. Thank you for doing things differently next time. All the best and have a lovely day. Your neighbor." I slipped the note into the scooter and went to work. When I came back the next day to get my car, I saw a little note on my windshield. First reaction, I recognized my piece of paper and I felt a little bit of stress. I thought, oh no, maybe he took it badly and he's going to respond negatively. I was a bit nervous because, nobody likes to get an unpleasant message in the morning. But then I thought, whatever, we will see what happens. Maybe he had the same reflection and reaction when he picked up his scooter in the evening. So I went over and read the note. It was a really kind response. He said, "Dear neighbor, I apologize. It wasn't intentional. I didn't realize." And what I found super nice was that he asked, "Is it better if I park like this?" Glanced over and saw that he had parked the scooter the other way around, giving me more space. I was thrilled. I wrote back, "That's perfect. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day," and left a note for him. The next day, I went back to my car and found another note where he thanked me again. And he had even parked his scooter straddling two spaces so that I always had plenty of room. Ever since that day, he's continued to park that way. And every morning I arrive feeling like a queen with all the space in the world to open my door. It just put a smile on my face every single morning. So I thought, this is it. This is what happens when you do things differently. And every morning, believe me, I love it. So that was my first little story. The second one is from my brother, who generously shared it with me a few weeks ago. So it's all quite new. For context, my brother has been living in Asia for about 6 years. He's a digital nomad. When I've told him that I'm going to start my podcast, he said, "Hey, I will come over and help you." I really appreciate this reaction, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank him in the mic. Thank you, bro. So he arrived and he realized, okay, wait a minute, I'm in Switzerland. I can take this opportunity to sort out few documents, including my driver's license. So the license was still valid, but the photo has complete faded. What make it tricky to use, right? He went to the local office, asked to have his license replaced. And while he was there, he just realized, oh, wait a minute, I also have a scooter license. I made in Thailand. What about adding it to this license? He asked the woman in the counter to do. But importantly, I think this woman was clearly not in the good mood. And she said, no, we are not doing that. All these tourists who get their license in Thailand or Vietnam after 2 weeks holidays think we just change it for them. No way. Look, madam, I've been living in Asia for 6 years. You can even check on your database. I'm not a Swiss resident anymore. She checked, and also she confirmed, yes, I see that, but no, I still won't change it. And by the way, I won't replace your license either. Oh, what? Wait a minute, but you have to at least replace it, even if you don't add the scooter part. She said, no, I don't have to. I don't have any obligation, so I won't. So how am I supposed to drive then in Switzerland? She said, figure out. Naturally, he was annoyed, but he didn't argue. He left. While he was walking, he just realized, maybe I just have to do it another way. What about me going back to the office, taking few tickets and waiting to have another person on the office to talk to her? And this is exactly what he did. He took few tickets and he were waiting. The two first was for her again, but the third one was the right one for another person. He went to the office and he were asking for a change. The woman was very gentle, smiling, and she offered to change it and send it to his place for free. So at the end of the day, he realized that everyone get what he want or deserve. In his perspective, he get the change of his license. In the perspective of the woman who bothered him at the beginning, he made her day because that was the purpose of this discussion with her. So I am very impressed by the wisdom he had on the situation. I'm not sure that I can have the same reaction. I'm really admiring him, and that's why I felt it's really relevant to share this story with you. Now let's move to the third one. The third story is also one of mine. It's about me at work. I received one day an email from one of my colleagues. To be honest, I don't know all my colleagues. We had a recent merge. We started being a lot of people. So this person was unknown for me. And I received a request also without details. Just to give you more context, I have a business unit with several departments. So to help, I need to know what kind of request it is, for which department. So I need some details that I didn't have on this email. I said, okay, I will take a look later. Let me just tackle some other emails before. And then something happened. It's not happening usually for me, thanks God, but I I lost the email. I've tried to find him everywhere in my files, in my folders, in my removed email, everywhere. It was missed. I'm a bit in trouble. I don't know the person. I don't even remember the name. I don't have any information about the request, the department, whatever. So I've took a breath and I said, okay, now, I mean, if it's an emergency and it's really addressed to me, the person will send me another email. So a few weeks later, I received another email from this person. And I made a huge mistake. You know, when you are doing something like joining a meeting and in the meantime trying to tackle some emails or reading some emails received, right? I was in a meeting, and in the meantime, I opened this email and I saw it, and I felt like it's a bit rude, very directive. And honestly, I was immediately angry and upset. And I think it's a mix, because I was not focusing 100% on the meeting, not 100% on the email. I start being very upset. I even sent an email to the boss of this person, because now I connected who is this person and where she's working. And I sent an email to the boss saying, oh, why she's talking to me like that? Is this normal in your department? Blah, blah, blah. I was very upset. When I ended the meeting, I sent her an email just to say I thought it was a mistake, first of all, and to be honest, I lost your email, so I didn't had even the chance to check and to know more about the request. I stand upset, so I've called her to signify my how I said that I was rejecting everything from her. You know, I was very mad. I was mad. So I don't know if she felt it, but I mean it. I mean to show her that I'm not happy with her way of writing and the email she sent. It was like a big, huge thing for me. I don't know why, but I definitely overreacted. So after that, when I came back home and I went, I finished my day. I was ready to go to sleep. I just take a minute to think about it and realize that, okay, maybe I overreacted. What I have to do tomorrow morning when I will be back to the office, just open back this email and read it again. Read the whole exchanges, you know. And this is what I did the day after. I was calm, good mood. I had my coffee. So I was ready to read the email without being judging or upset or whatever. So I read it and I realized that she wasn't that rude. It was just a reaction because she didn't hear from me for weeks. And I felt myself so... It's not stupid, because I don't want to say about myself that I'm stupid, but I felt it ridiculous, you know. Reacting like that, it's ridiculous. What I'm doing when I feel like this, and it's happened, I have always two options, depend on the situation: calling the person or sending a message. I called the person and I explained the way I was and all the reaction I had. Even if she didn't felt it, I had really, it was important for me to say it to her, like, that was my reaction, that was my thought, and I just want to apologize about that. So I made it, and of course, in the meantime, I answered her request, and we will have a meeting in a few days, by the way, with her client, so I can put a face on this voice, the voice I heard. And I'm not always on the right reaction. I'm still try to be inspired by people like my brother and his wisdom. I still have some path to do, to be honest. Before leaving you, I just want to share a last tip. I had a chat with one of my colleagues, and she said to me, like, her ex-boss was always advising her when she's upset about the situation, and she wants, like, to answer immediately and put all the poison that she can on the email, to write the email exactly the way she wants to do it at that time, and to keep it there, to read it the day after. And if she still convinced that the right way to answer, the right way to be, she can send it. What she said to me was interesting. She never did it. Of course, she was always writing the email and reading it the day after, but she never sent any of those emails. This is a tip I'm gonna keep for myself and I'm happy to share with you guys. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. Every little step counts. If you like this episode, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Catch you soon on Amina's Path.